Here's an example that we discussed today in class, and I want to discuss again here, just in case you didn't get it. There are 50 athletes in school, 36 belong to basketball teams, and 38 belong to baseball teams. How many belong to just basketball? Okay? Notice there are 50 athletes. 36 belong to basketball, 38 belong to baseball. Okay, so if I were to draw a Venn diagram here, what this problem is telling me is that I have some athletes in both basketball and baseball teams. Okay, so let's say this is basketball and this is baseball. Okay, now if I have 50 athletes, 36 are in basketball and 38 are in baseball. That makes a total of 74 athletes. That makes you think, well, I have more athletes than what I started with, but what you really have to think is that I have 74 if I add these two, because some of the athletes belong to both basketball teams and baseball teams. Okay, so there's an intersection here. Now, how many of these athletes belong to both? Well, if there are only 50 athletes and I have 74 that I just calculated, that means I have 24 athletes in excess of 50, which are the 24 athletes that belong to both. Okay, so these 24 belong in the intersection. These are the ones that are in both in baseball and basketball. Knowing this fact, then you can figure out how many belong to basketball and how many belong to baseball if you have a total of 50 athletes. Okay? Now, if you know that there are 36 that belong to basketball, and so far I have 24 in basketball, then how many more should I have in this bubble to make a total of 36? That would be 12. If you know there are 38 in baseball, and I already have 24 in this bubble, then how many more would I have to have in this bubble to get to 38? 14. Notice in total, if I add 12 and 24 and 14, you get 50 students. But if you just add baseball, you would have 24 plus 14, which is the 38 that we mentioned in the beginning. If you add just basketball, you have 12 and 24, which is the 36 that we mentioned in the beginning. Now the question is, how many belong to just basketball? Well, very simple. 12 belong to just basketball. And that's your answer. I hope you understood this problem. Go back, watch all the videos, hit pause, hit rewind, do as much as you can to practice for this quiz tomorrow, and I wish you much success. Goodbye.